Okay, our annual visit to Devil's Crypt, former Cicero Town Hall of Horrors. What did you think this year?
Oh, this is one of our favorites. I mean, I look forward to this every year. This haunt is always outstanding, and this year, oh my gosh, this was the creepiest horror, like haunted house experience that I've been to in a long time. I mean, if ever. I mean, there's a couple other ones that are creepy, but this one's generally creepy. But the creepiness factor was even more so this time. I know the way the haunt starts. You're in this hallway, and you kind of go downstairs into a basement. And there was was it a boiler room or what was that we passed? Some kind of
boiler
room. And it's just all smoky, and they had these like scary sound effects, and these lights come on as you're walking, and it the lights sometimes go in front of you, but sometimes behind you. And this is the first time that I can see Brian. He was actually scared. He actually grabbed onto me like,
I wasn't scared.
Yes, yeah. And I was laughing because it was creepy, but he was the one like, oh, as we were going through the hallway. He actually scared me because out of nowhere he grabbed onto me.
Laura was already scared. She was already scared.
Yeah. So anyway, this haunt, there weren't a whole lot of actors, but in this particular haunt, you don't need them because the creepiest factor and the rooms and everything, they don't even need actors. Even though the actors in there were great, they were excellent. The acting was great in this haunt, but it wasn't like they were all over the place, and they didn't need it because this haunt is based on atmosphere and a very creepy atmosphere at that. But this thing, it was so good. I didn't want it to end, but then part of me kind of did because I was creeped out. And Brian was even more so. And I know I jumped several times. I mean, I know one time I jumped off my feet like, ah! And there's this other scene. We're going through it, and it's just like a dark fog, and I couldn't see really in front of me. And next thing I know, this figure comes out of nowhere, like right in front of me. Oh my gosh, it scared me. It's like, here it is. You can't see anything else, and that face comes right up to me. That was good. This is a fantastic haunt. I mean, if you're going to go to something, this is one you need to see. This is a definite Hall of Fame haunt this year.
Okay. All right, despite what Laura says, I was not scared. Okay.
Yes, you were.
I was a little creeped out, all right? But I'll try to explain. Laura alluded to it. But I'll tell you one thing. When I think about haunted houses, this is the only haunted house that I can think of that I've been to where you have that prickling on the back of your neck. We're wondering whether or not somebody's going to come out or not. Somebody or something. And ironically, more often than not, nothing is there. And you still have that feeling. That is what makes this an exceptional, outstanding haunt, different from any other haunt that we've been to this season or in seasons past. And I have to say, this is the second iteration of Devil's Crypt in this particular format. Last year was the first time they did it, and this year was even better than the last. Okay. As Laura mentioned, the very first scene is a long corridor. You walk into a basement. It's a long corridor with doors on either side, and there are lights scattered down the corridor. They're overhead lights. They only illuminate when you get close to them. And after you pass them, they don't illuminate anymore. Now, you're not in darkness at all. It's dark, but it's not complete darkness in any way. You know where you're going. You can see where you're going. It's just down this long hallway. And there are doors, as I said, on either side. But what's effectively creepy about it is there are sound effects, whispers, noises, and it's in surround sound, sort of pan and scan. It goes in one ear and out the other type of thing. And in addition, the lights will flicker back on behind you. And you have the desire, because you can sense that the lights are on. You hear them. Okay, you don't necessarily see them, but in your peripheral vision you might see them. You have this desire to kind of look over your shoulder to see, oh, what's going on back there? But at the same time, you don't. And that is really what is very effective about Devil's Crypt. That feeling like, maybe I should look behind me. You know what? I don't want to look behind me. That is what I'm talking about in a haunt. And that is what creeped me out. When Laura said I was scared, the best way to describe it is actually that sort of unnerving feeling, like I had that tickling sensation, like, oh, I better look back there. And then when I look back there, I'm like, oh, I better stop looking back there. And at one of those moments, the doors were rattling behind us, and I turned around and I went, oh, like that,
you grabbed
Laura,
at me, scared
just like that, because
me.
I thought better of it. I thought, you know what, I better stop looking back there, just in case somebody's back there. I was waiting for an actor to come out. And one of the really cool things about Devil's Crypt is more often than not, there's no actor there. In the basement when we were in there were no actors. None at all. But as Laura said, they were not needed because the feeling was so effective. And this happened throughout the haunt. There was another scene where we were just walking down in an area, not a corridor, but there was a hooded figure over in the right-hand side, and there was a strobe going, and there was another hooded figure down the other side of this, again, corridor. And for the life of me, I couldn't tell if that figure was real or not. And by the same token, I didn't want to find out. That's the feeling that Devil's Crypt engenders, okay? So, yes, there are fewer actors in there, and there's a lot of empty space. I shouldn't say empty space, I mean wide open spaces. Because this is a big building that's in the old Cicero Town Hall. It's multi-level. And the space is used to great effect. I mean, Laura, how often have we been in haunts where there's just a whole lot of nothing? Where we're walking, we're like, okay, it's time to get to the next scene, and what's in between? And we're like, oh, ho-hum, there's nothing there, right?
Right.
That's not how Devil's Crypt is. There are open spaces in between one room to the next, but you're always wondering what is there that you're not seeing. And when there are actors, they're effectively creepy. They crawl out from under tables. They silently walk up behind you, again, following you for a while. They come out of the darkness, just like the one that got Laura.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Great stuff. And sets, too. If you want good sets, keep in mind, this is a town hall building. This is not professionally built as a haunt. But there's a full rainforest scene in there where you're walking through on a bridge and rain is falling on either side of you, and there's a giant spider with fog and webs and things. There's a whole crypt scene, which is extremely effective because you're walking along and you see the crypt along the side, and you can look down over a balcony into the crypt area. And it's all well lit, and it's got candles and things. And then when you walk down, there are these creepy monks type of figures, skeletal monks that just follow you, and they herd you to this area. And there's a giant winged demon that appears. Very effectively done. Stuff that we've seen in other haunts, but just done in a different way here. A very effectively creepy way. Laura mentioned she didn't want it to end, and I didn't either. And in fact, I thought it was longer than it was. It was about 17 minutes long, but really it seemed longer. Intensely enjoyable. There was a new exorcism scene this year in the full bedroom with the windows open and blowing, and the drapes blowing, and the exorcism victim on the bed who rises up against and comes towards you. That was creepy too. Again, not a single actor in that room. Just that prop that jumped out at you. Very well done. Another thing that I will mention is there are numerous areas that are triggered by motion detectors. Either sound or light or props that move or all three. And that's very effective too. Excellently done. I have to give hats off to anyone who wants to see a haunt that will creep you out, that you're really going to enjoy. I have to mention this is an unsung haunt for me, because if you look up big haunts in Illinois, you're not necessarily going to find Devil's Crypt. You're going to find other ones that have great sets, great actors, and all that kind of thing, but Devil's Crypt has all of that stuff as well, in spades, and it's got that creepiness factor that I haven't found at any other haunt. I actually was unnerved in there, I have to say, and that does not happen often at all.
Yes, that's true.
And you were unnerved,
They got
too.
You more than once, though. You were actually scared a couple other times.
They got you about 6 times. So
right,
if we want to add it up,
yes.
Okay,
they made me jump because they came out at you and
several times.
Yes.
Like I said, the best thing for me in Devil's Crypt is that feeling is you don't know if there's an actor there or not. You don't know after you leave the scene. You're still expecting this actor to rush out, and sometimes they do, and other times they don't. There are areas where you go in and you say, I know there's an actor over there. Because when you go to a lot of haunts like we do, you kind of know the setup in certain ways. You think, okay, there's a perfect area for an actor to jump out at you, and there's going to be one, And more often than not, there isn't one in Devil's Crypt. But you're not disappointed. You're not like, oh, there should have been an actor there. You're like, oh.
You're actually kind of relieved.
Yeah, you're actually like, nah. And then there are other areas where you're totally not expecting an actor, and there are actors there. So hats off to everybody involved. This is definitely Hall of Fame. In addition to the haunt itself, the haunt has wait entertainment. There's always a DJ. There's always roaming actors. And there are food concessions, too, and dessert. So if you like good Mexican food and you like
Delicious
good desserts,
food.
Great stuff there, too. So I wouldn't eat before you go in, though, if you have a weak stomach. Probably not a good idea. Anyway.
Afterwards, though, don't miss the food.
Yeah, don't miss the food. The only caveat, get there early or go on an off night like a Thursday or a Sunday, because the lines get long and there is no VIP option. It's $25, which puts it well in line with general admission prices for some of the bigger, more well-known haunts. And to be frank, for the most part, I'd pick Devil's Crypt.
Mm-hmm.
That. There's no question about it. If you want to go to one haunt and you're like, maybe it's all hype, maybe it isn't, Devil's Crypt isn't. Devil's Crypt is great. Unsung haunt. Hall of Fame for me.
It's still a fantastic haunt. Uh-oh, we lost our light.
Start over.
I got the thing in the house. I should just pull it out. The what's that thing?
The clapper?
The clapper thing. Want me to go get it?
No. You just have to... One of the hazards of being in a car. Okay.
Now we're going to have music coming on. Hang on.
I turned the car off.
Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, there we go. All right.
That'll put you in the Halloween mood.
Your favorite.
Oh, my God.
Okay. I can't do this now. All right. Okay. Do I start over or do I keep going?
Oh, well,
I need the clapper.
This is blooper gold, so keep going. But then when you want to do the review, start over.
Okay, you ready?